No, this is not a rally for a victorious politician. This is a welcome of sorts for former presidential candidate and Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso in the heart of Kano. Kwankwaso was accompanied by presidential hopeful Peter Obi, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, and former Bayelsa State Governor Senator Dickson. The throng of supporters repeatedly chanted Obi's and Kwankwaso's names during the annual Kwankwasia Eid Festival. While addressing the crowd, Obi said the visit was not political, but aimed at celebrating the Eid al-Fitr and honoring Kwankwaso. But analysts and political observers say it differently, raising questions about whether new alliances could be taking shape. While Obi has since perfected his move to the African Democratic Congress, Kwankwaso says he would only leave the NNPP for another platform if guaranteed the party's presidential or vice presidential ticket. I'm joined now by Folashade Aliu, an aide to Rabiu Kwankwaso and 2023 campaign secretary of the New Nigeria People's Party. Glad to have you join me, Folashade.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, nice to have you. Following from what is playing out, what I just read, the video we just watched, should we expect an Obi Kwankwaso ticket for the 2027 presidential election following their meeting in Kano? A realignment of sorts, you will call it, or we should call it?
Well, what I would like to share with you at this moment is that, of course, they are friends, they are political friends over the years.
Okay.
And a lot of consultations are going on despite the INEC timetable. And the former Labour presidential candidate was, had a discussion with my principal, and he said they both agree that you should come and celebrate with him. So that indicates so many things. And of course, you also know His Excellency Seyi Makinde, they're friends, Senator Dickson, they're friends. So let's wait and watch for the best of the moment to come.
So you're not letting anything out of the bag as yet?
Well, if anything is going to happen, my principal is not somebody, even if he wants to be private, he's not a private person when it comes to politics. So if anything is happening, it will be announced and you will be invited and everybody will know exactly the direction of things. So but at this moment, we keep our consultation open and going. And I know time is not on our side. We're probably going to make a very public decision very soon. So just be patient and watchful.
While we wait and be patient and watchful, let me push this further. In the event that something happens, just like I read, he said he's looking for a platform where he will either get the presidential ticket or the vice presidential ticket. So in the event that that happens, who is likely to be vice to who? Who is likely to be running mate to who? Obi or Kwankwaso? Obi, the presidential candidate, Kwankwaso the vice, or the other way around? In the event that such a thing happens, who is likely to be what?
Well, what I can share with you is that distinguished Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, it's not about him, it's about the people. And when it gets to that point, I'm sure whoever chooses to come together will be in the best position to determine who is the right candidate for which position. But one thing I can tell you is that as a party, we also of the interest that maybe we should look to the south, but that is not a definite answer. We have had that discussion before as a party, to say in the interest of everyone, because this is about Nigeria, so.
And I mean, there's a talk everywhere about giving the South that there are 8 years because the North took 8 years under the late President Muhammadu Buhari.
That's correct.
Under which platform will both run? I'm aware, or we're aware, the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023, Peter Obi, is now a full-fledged carry member of the ADC.
That's fine.
Under which platform would your principal run? Explain it now, because as of today he's still in NNPP, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So is he switching to ADC? Is that what is going to eventually happen?
Well, as of today,
because Obi is now in ADC, it's
we know we are very conscious of all of that.
Okay.
And we are very strategic about the way forward. In terms of the platform, it's part of also the consultation. It will be decided. It will be one or the other, or one supporting the other. You know, it will be a good combination, one way or the other.
One way or the other.
Yes.
By the way, as we go on, can you clarify for us what's happening within the NNPP fold? The Abo-Major fold claims to be the authentic one following a Court of Appeal ruling, whereas the Ajuji-led one, with Dipo Layoku as the secretary, says the Abo-Major are imposters. So what is really happening? Which is which?
Well, my understanding of the cases is that those people were suspended. Some of them were expelled from the party. And there's already there's a judgment that upholds their suspension and, from the party. So if they have been suspended or even beyond that, other actions have taken care of that, and the court has, aligned with the position of the party. Now, this case that happened in Abuja here is been set aside, and then we are, of course, going to go to the next level with that, which is most likely up to the Supreme Court. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that as soon as anything happens, they go to the media and start making noise. That's not how to run parties, especially political parties. Because over the years, several cases, came up, and we have won in several instances. So it's not for us that every little thing that happens, even if they have won at the magistrate court, they will run to the media and start making us. That's not how.
Yeah, because I interviewed Abo-Major, I think so. I think it was the Abo-Major or one of the other factions, and he said that Kwankwaso is even suspended.
How can you suspend the presidential candidate of your party after you have been suspended as a member of the party? Some of these things happen across Nigeria. I see them as distraction. Honestly, that's the way I look at it. It's purely, simply distraction.
All right. The APC in Kano has been reacting. They said they are questioning both the timing and the political relevance of the gathering. In other words, they're saying that politically this gathering is not relevant.
They know that it's very, 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 very highly relevant. Over the years, this is the 10th anniversary of this gathering. It happens every year. And they know the power of the people at this gathering. So if they now come, it's obvious. You look at the gathering and you see that crowd. And that crowd is not a rented crowd. You see all of them with our white and red. These are not school children. And most of the people, I can tell you, 90% of those people that you see there, they're foot soldiers. There are people that believes in the ideology of Kokonsia and wherever a national leader is going. So if someone says, without even asking them, and they are trying to downplay what is there, that means that shook them, in addition to the personalities that were there. So because some of them will say, oh, what's the next thing for Kwankwaso? How is it going to go? It's the power of the people. Let me tell you, the power of the people is beyond anything. And when the people support you, anything can happen for good. You know, because they know that when you are treated well, they are treated well. And they know that when you go out there, you go out for them in their interest. You know, we don't have to go into all the little details of it. Even when distinguished Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, it's not even, you know, doesn't have a political office, running his business, acting as father to a mentor to so many people, continue to sponsor people, you know, to hospitals, in schools, in higher educations, and so on and so forth. And as a Muslim, he's doing what he feels and what God has given him the grace to do. As a person, he's also doing that. As a leader, he's doing that. And, you know, it's a person that's, you know, lead by example. So if anybody had come and say that His Excellency Makinde doesn't have anything to do on that day, but decided to be there, you know that's not a good talk. That's something that's shaking, you know, the grounds.
Let me even push this further. The secretary of the APC in Kano State, these are his words. He said the meeting was unexpected, disconnected from the political realities in Kano State. So, what do you make of that statement? Disconnected from the political realities in Kano. What is he implying?
It's just a statement from somebody who's frustrated. That's the way I would look at it. Of course, they may not expect that much gathering of people at the same time at that location, but we are even expecting more. But what we see there is more than sufficient, because you can see how people are packed together. And for someone to say it's not relevant, if we begin to count the heads that are there, do you know how many heads we're going to count? So, and like I told you, these are not rented crowd. These are not just people on the street. These are foot soldiers.
Maybe he's saying it because of the defection of the governor of Kano State, Yusuf, to the APC. Would you say that the game is over for Kwankwaso and that he no longer carries much weight, even with his Kwankwaso movement? You know how it is with governors moving to holding sway in a state. So maybe he's saying it because of that. So, like I said, maybe the game is over for Kwankwaso in Kano State?
Absolutely not. Let me say this. For the fact that Kano is our stronghold, is our home, the governor is our person, you know, we see ourselves as family, things happen. We are not going to say that him stepping away from us for now is not important. Yes, we should feel his absence. That's why he's a governor. We chose him. We elected him. We worked with him. So that means we understand his capacity. However, our national leader, distinguished Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, is not, apart from his history, the historical growth that he has had over the years in politics, is somebody that is very resolute, very strategic, very flexible, accommodating, and very compassionate. It's very important. And when you impact somebody's life positively, they can never forget you. No matter what, they cannot write the history of their lives without that person to say, this person had, you know, made me to be this, and I'm grateful to God, because God has used Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso to positively, in so many ways, impact people's lives.
Now, when Obi says this is a Muslim gathering, yet Obi is widely perceived as having limited engagement with Muslim communities. That's not Obi talking. That was the APC guy talking. For Kwankwaso to prioritize such alliances over local considerations raises questions, serious questions, he said, about his political strategy. Are you strategizing wrongly?
No, not at all. You know,
because I think somebody said, I interviewed somebody who said something like, Kwankwaso, is it a village champion? You know, he just controls, he's not known widely in Nigeria, he's just Kano State. And then Kano State, the governor that was with him has moved away from him and is now in APC. So he's talking about Strategy being wrong, Obi and Kwankwaso?
Well, let me say this. When we plan, as a party and as a campaign when in the last election and for the time that I've worked with Senator Kwankwaso, we plan with our electorate, our people, our foot soldiers, our contributors, sponsors, and everybody, we put them into perspective. So it's not only about winning election, and it's also about relationship. If you have relationship with people over the years, it just doesn't go away like that. Then the second aspect of it, to say is a local champion, and everybody, different people have called him different names. The president of the Republic of Nigeria today started from Lagos State. And you know the position of Lagos State in any election or electioneering period.
That he had a wide reach, across the nation.
He didn't start by having a wide reach. He started from somewhere. He may have influence in other aspects, other parts of Southwest, but he started from somewhere. Today is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So that is to say that it's like a very strong tree. You branch out.
So you're saying that Kwankwaso is just starting?
It's not just starting. I'm using that as an example from the past, that the same past is applicable to him. Do you understand? Yes, we have Kano, we have Jika. You know, you go to Kaduna, you see people. You go to Gombe, you go to, Kogi, you see people. So you go to the south, you see people come out. You go to the southwest, you go to the southeast. So what are we talking about?
See what will be said. We want to change Kano. We want to build a new Kano.
Yes.
What we want to do is to make sure that we bring back the powers of Kano and restore its industries. This visit should not be interpreted as a political meeting.
Yes.
Today is not about politics. It's about celebrating Salah. Is Obi trying to pull wool over our eyes?
No. It's good to celebrate. Both of them, they are hard workers, smart workers. So when you work hard and you work smart, you have to create time.
So he's telling us
you have to create time create time for your people. No matter what you create an event out of it, and it's an honest time spending worthy of the people that were there. Okay, then about the fact of Kano, like Nigeria as a whole, we are still developing. There's always room for improvement, advancement. And then if you look at Kano, which is applicable to a lot of states in terms of industrialization, in terms of manufacturing entities, companies in Nigeria. A lot of them that has closed up, a lot of them that has relocated. So if Obi is saying, look, we need to make Kano more powerful than it is right now, and greater than what it is, bringing manufacturing back, that's what serious employment and serious money for the government and the people. So if he said that, he's correct. That's where we need to be. We don't have to be, regressive in everything that is happening in this country. So we have to be forward thinking. That's what I believe he's talking about.
You were the campaign secretary of NNPP in 2023 to Rabiu Kwankwaso.
Yes.
Can you tell us what has come out of the talks between Buba Galadima and the ADC, which Kwankwaso asked Galadima to initiate? What has come out of that?
Are you talking about the press conference they had?
No. Kwankwaso, your principal,
yes,
asked Buba Galadima to initiate talks with ADC. So I'm asking, what has come out of those talks?
It's still ongoing.
What can you tell me about
I
the
think
meeting?
it's very substantial and it's ongoing. Just like I told you at the beginning of this discussion, that we're talking as opposition, we're talking to one another, and we're hoping to make success of that talk and progress for Nigeria out of the conversation. So yes, Engineer Buba Galadima had some talks, just like you say, and some of us were part of it.
You were part of it?
I was part of it. And it was productive. It was substantial.
How productive was it?
Very substantial, I would tell you.
How productive and how substantial was it? Is Kwankwaso moving to ADC? And, eventually, are you leaving? Because if he's moving, you will move, definitely.
Of course, definitely. But
so
he said,
how substantive, how productive was it? Is he moving to ADC?
I'm not confirming that, but I'm saying that when you talk at that level, there must be deliverables to your discussion. Do you understand?
So what about the deliverables?
So if you have not gotten to the deliverable one way or the other, you keep talking.
Okay, so you're still talking. You're still discussing.
But what I told you is that at the point where we can, publicly place the deliverable of the discussion one way or the other, you will be there. You will know. You will hear. Because we'll make it public. And to be on a serious note, at this point, there is no time. We don't have much time for anything.
Yeah.
Within the INEC timetable. So that means that even if we're having conversation, you should know that it would have reached at a certain level, one way or the other. That's all I can tell you.
That's what I'm saying. You're not telling us the level it has
reached. I can tell you. I'm not measuring by percentage or by any factor at this point. But I want to tell you that when you have people like Engineer Buba Galadima, initiate and direct and coordinate something, it must be something tangible and substantive. So we're here.
Of course, based on what you told me about the South being in consideration, I mean, the wind is blowing that way. So definitely, Kwankwaso eventually will agree to be Obi's running mate. I mean, with what you have just told me.
No, what I'm telling you is that distinguished Senator Rabi Musa is a very accommodating and very flexible person. And we all understand this is about Nigeria.
Yeah.
This is about Nigeria and the people of Nigeria.
And being about Nigeria,
okay.
The South
so
is...
if you are talking about that flexibility,
yeah.
That means that when you get to the point where you need to make a decision as a group, as a party, as a caucus, or what have you, you decide. But if you go and you say, okay, it's this way and that means you are not flexible, you are not willing to accommodate any other opinion but yours. But nobody leads like that.
Yeah, so Kwankwaso is flexible and accommodative.
Yes.
And when the push comes to shove, he will likely consider, the PDP will likely consider that South talk we're talking about.
PDP?
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Kwankwaso himself, NMPP and all that. I mean, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For Lashade Aliu and to Rabi Kwankwaso.